Esther Mahomes claims she gifted her vintage wedding gown to her niece, who altered it dramatically, then wore a different dress. Sarah Ketterman says she tried to please her aunt, but the gown just wasn't her style.
All right, Ms. Mahomes, you are suing Ms. Ketterman for $750 because, according to you, she ruined your vintage wedding dress.
And that's correct, Your Honor.
How do you two know each other?
Oh, this is my niece by next of kin. We're not related by blood, but we're related in every other way. I've known her since she's a year old, and through a year old till she was 18 years old, I've taken her to ballet classes. She stayed over my house when her parents weren't available.
But how do you know each other?
Through her parents and her parents and myself are very, very good friends.
Okay. All right. You know the parents how? You've just known?
We went to school together.
Okay.
So we went formative years, and then she had my lovely niece, Sarah.
And have you always called her your niece?
Yeah, pretty much the whole time, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you always thought of her as an aunt?
Yeah, I mean, yes. I grew up having her, my Aunt Esther. She went to college with my mother, but, you know, at times she can be a bit overbearing.
How so?
I mean, she's always trying to be a big part of my, and I appreciate that. I want her to be part of my life, but sometimes I need to figure things out for myself. She never liked my boyfriends. She would always come over and interview them and be rude to them.
All right, let me get back to you, Ms. Mahomes. So tell me about the wedding dress. What was happening there?
The wedding dress is an heirloom, a family heirloom. I got married in it to my dear, lovely past husband, Kevin, may he rest in peace. So it was so special to me to be able to have
Do you have children?
I don't. I only have sons, no daughters.
Okay, those are children. All right,
I mean,
you don't have daughters.
Let me
Well, I hope your sons aren't watching. That's all I got to say. All right, so you find out that she tells you she's getting married?
Yes.
Did you like the boyfriend? Had you met him?
He was all right. He was okay. I
Okay.
mean, my niece is such quality. She's such a quality person. Character.
No one's good enough for her.
No one's. There are people. There are men who are good for her, but she doesn't strive to reach that level. She's
Okay.
always selling herself short, in my eyes.
Okay. Would you say that a lot?
Yeah, I would tell her. Yeah, honey, you could do better.
So she tells you she's marrying this boy, and you say what?
I said, really? I don't know.
Really?
First,
That's what
yeah.
you said? You didn't say congratulations?
Well, first I met him at a Thanksgiving dinner, and at the dinner I was already, I thought they were just going out. I didn't think it was going to turn into a wedding the next time I met both of them. Well, the next time we had dinner together, she's wearing a ring, and they're setting up a wedding date.
Okay.
So at that point...
Without consulting you?
Without consulting me.
Oh, my goodness.
She
Can you
consulted
imagine?
me, but she really didn't want to hear it. So I didn't say anything unless she...
Has your friend, her mom, ever said to you, you need to back off?
No.
Okay.
We've been best friends for years.
Okay. Okay, so go on. So now you're accepting it. She's getting married, and you offer her your dress.
This gorgeous dress. It's a vintage dress. Who doesn't like vintage these days? You know how expensive a vintage dress is? The threading, the ornate...
Depends on the dress, really.
The lame.
Okay, so let me see. Do you have a picture of it before it was altered?
Your Honor,
Hold on. Do you have a picture of it before
I
it was
don't have a picture, but my niece does.
Oh, I mean, let's count on her to give you your evidence. All right, so can you hand the picture to my bailiff, please? So tell me how you broach her on the dress.
I said, darling, you're getting married, and this is something very special I'd like to share with you, and I'd love for you to be able to wear my wedding dress.
Okay.
And my mother wore this wedding dress, and you would look gorgeous in it.
Okay, so that's how the dress looked when you handed it to her. But you gave it to her as a gift, right?
Under the conditions, I gave it to her as a gift under the conditions that she would alter the neckline and the sleeves. That was it.
Okay, so slow down. When you offered it to her, did she say, "Oh, that's great, I love it," or did she say,
she didn't want it. She didn't want it.
Oh, she made it clear to you she didn't want it.
She said I didn't want it. So I thought I'd sweeten up the pot a little bit, and I said, you know what? I will give you $750 to alter the dress to any design you want, to make it your own.
Okay, that's super nice, but I can't help but notice that you're in court.
Right. Because
ruining the entire thing. So I'm trying to understand.
I'm going to tell you what happened.
Okay.
So she goes to have it altered, comes back, says, it doesn't work for me.
Tell me your exact words to her about
I said to her, Actually, I might, let's see, I'll send you the dress and some money so you can alter it.
Are you reading text?
I'm reading the
Okay,
text, and
all
I
right.
have this for you.
And some money so you can alter it.
Yes.
It's up to her how she alters it, right?
Coming up on Justice for the People.
I get to the wedding, sit down, I'm a guest. She comes down, here comes the bride. She's not wearing the dress. The dress is nowhere to be found.
She's wearing a
A
different...
completely different dress.
Judge Millian. We're back with the case of Esther Mahomes, who blames her niece, Sarah Ketterman, for a wedding dress mess.
So what is this about the little neck and the little sleeves? Why were
Well,
you going...
we had agreed that when she tried it on, that the neck and the sleeves were a little bit off. So that's what we, under our agreement, I said, okay, so you adjust it, bring it to any alteration, wherever you want, but that $750 is for your dress. So she doesn't correspond with me, nothing. I get to the wedding, sit down, I'm a guest. She comes down, here comes the bride, and she's not wearing the dress. The dress is nowhere to be found.
She's wearing a
A
different...
completely different dress.
Well, where'd she get that dress? You think she picked it
used
out?
my money from the alteration.
Did she pick out her own dress for her own
dress
wedding?
that I wanted.
With my money.
Okay.
With the alterations money, she went and bought that dress. She paid $500 that was left after the alterations for that dress.
Let me ask you a question, Miss Ketterman. You've known her all your life. How did you think it was going to go to not be wearing the dress she was shoving down your throat all of this time?
I'll be frank, I knew she was gonna be angry.
Why don't you just tell her so that you could get it out of the way?
Honestly, I'm planning a wedding. I don't have time to be thinking, oh, what's Aunt Esther gonna think? Let me
That's
text
right.
Aunt
If she
Esther.
would-
Let me
Stop
do
a
this.
second. Stop a second. But it takes 2 seconds to just tell her that.
Well, no, because then I knew she'd bombard me with calls, as she did when I was on my honeymoon. She wouldn't leave me alone. She would be like, oh, wear this dress. It's my wedding.
I bombarded
have
you.
Block her while you're on your honeymoon, then.
I didn't want
Did
her
you
to be
use her money to
upset.
buy the dress you did wear?
Yes, I did. She gifted me a dress. She said I could alter it. I did that. I tried. It didn't. I mean, if you look at the dress,
Look at the dress now. It's
Wait,
not my
but
style.
look at the dress now is not something you have a right to say, because she could have altered it into
Absolutely.
like you know, a stripper costume, and you wouldn't
So-
have the slightest say in anything.
That's true.
You were
But she
letting her
owned it.
have $750 to alter it. Her objection is that you didn't use the $750 to alter it. You used $250 to alter it, didn't like it, gave up on it, and then went your own way and bought something with it.
it was- And didn't even tell me.
Stop. And your answer to that is, it was a gift and I can spend it any way I want.
Actually, Your Honor, may I present this evidence, please?
Yeah. What is this?
These are texts in which she was instructing me on what kind of cake to have at my wedding. I said, Michael loves coconut, so I think we're gonna do some kind of coconut cake. And she said, oh no, you know I'm allergic. I don't know about that. I agreed not to have the
You
cake
wanna
that
do
What
my...
is wrong with you? Why would you agree not to have the cake your husband wants at your husband's wedding?
Do you... I mean, this is
I
my
know,
aunt.
but maybe
I
we
tried-
can have some plain cupcakes or something. You can just avoid the coconut cake. Oh, but I just wouldn't feel safe. What if someone has the cake and then kisses me on the cheek? Next thing you know, your wedding turns into my funeral.
my death.
Exactly.
You're a
Do you
little
see?
dramatic, don't you think?
You see, it's a bit ridiculous. And
It
if she-
is, but why aren't you setting boundaries? She's bringing me a
Exactly.
legal issue. I'm not here to decide if she's pushy, because God knows she is. I'm not here to decide if, you know, she's manipulating you, because she is, but you're letting her. What I'm here to decide is, did she give you $750 for a specific purpose and you took $500 and used it for something else? In other words, if she had never offered you to dress, you would have had to pay $500 for a wedding dress, right?
She offered me that money and that dress to help me find a dress for my wedding day. I thought with the level of involvement that she wanted in my wedding, it would make her happy to help me purchase a used dress that I actually loved and felt comfortable in. And I have this photo. Could I?
What did she do? Yeah, let me see the dress you actually wore.
See, this is a dress that I loved and that I was comfortable in, rather than be upset that I'm wearing some old dress. I wore the veil that she gave me. It didn't match the color, but I wanted her to be happy, so I wore the veil, but I picked out my own dress because it's my wedding.
When she offers you the dress, so what do you think of the dress? Beautiful, huh? And Esther, I really appreciate you offering me the dress, but I just don't think it's my style. I want to pick my own dress. Not your style, question mark, question mark. What's wrong with it, question mark? Isn't vintage all the rage now? Question mark. I think it's a little too vintage. How about this? I'll send you the dress and some money so you can alter it how you like. Then will you take it? Yeah, that sounds all right. Send it over. I'll see what I can do.
And I used the money to alter it. how we discussed.
And then you
Clearly,
used it how you
didn't
like,
work out.
which is to buy the other one. I mean, I know you meant well and you wanted her to use a dress, but for the love of all that's holy, you can't let her have her day?
Viewers asked, and now Judge Millian has the answer.
The question is, I like to dress up and be really scary on Halloween.
Yeah.
And if I do that and someone comes trick-or-treating and is alarmed and the little kid runs away and gets hurt, am I liable because I scared them?
You might be liable.
Yeah.
Yes. You might have to take out your
Possibly.
checkbook. If little Johnny came walking up, innocent like trying to get the goods, and you scared the bejabbers out of him, and runs away, falls down, and knocks out his tooth or something.
Yeah.
And there's a cost to it, etc. Yeah, you may have to take out your checkbook. So,
Yeah. So what do you do if you're someone who's really into Halloween and you want to dress up and scare the kids?
Right.
I mean, I guess you have to watch which kids you're scaring.
Right.
If they're 3 or 4,
if they look kind of jumpy when they're coming down,
or
down
if
the
they're
sidewalk.
really young, I don't know. But one thing you could do is put a sign that says "Beware," except for
Right.
that's like nobody listens to that because they think that's part of the Halloween decoration. But
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe put some notice out there that's
Right.
spooky house
I
for
don't know-
real.
I don't know if I want to live in a world where you can't scare the crap out of the little kids on Halloween.
What's the point of it all if you
hell?
can't scare kids on Halloween?
Right, so yeah, I'm
I don't know, but I would be careful and I would make sure I know my audience and who you're scaring.
Well, I'm a pro-scaring kind of person.
Yeah, me
okay?
too.
So-
Me too.
Coming up,
Didn't you give it to her as a gift?
Yes, under the condition she'd wear it. This is not worn. This
Wow,
was
your gifts come with a lot of strings.
only under
It's
this.
her wedding.
closed captioning with Judge Millian. We're back with the case of Esther Mahomes, who blames her niece, Sarah Ketterman, for a wedding dress mess.
Did her mother call you at all?
No.
Oh my God.
She agrees with me.
She agrees with you
She agrees.
that you should sue her daughter over her wedding
Her
dress?
mother and I always see things eye to eye. What
It
am I
looks
going to do with that
better.
dress now? It looks better according to you. I don't think it looks better.
Well,
I think
it's
it looks
my
like
wedding.
Right, but
a
it's her
rag.
wedding, and you told her she could alter it any way she wanted, and your big
But
complaint is that she
didn't
altered
alter
it any way she wanted.
She didn't alter it. She ripped it up into pieces. It even has stains on it. It has little brown stains on it. She didn't care about it. When you care about somebody's...
Didn't you give it to her as a gift?
Yes, under the condition she'd wear it. This is not worn. This
Wow,
was...
your gifts come with a lot of strings.
Only under
It's
this-
her wedding. She doesn't get to pick her dress at
Yes.
her wedding?
She can gladly pick a dress. Don't tell me yes, and then say $250, and then she also says to me,
Can I ask you something about the coconut cake? Are you seriously telling the bride that her husband's choice of cake at his wedding doesn't work for you?
Yes. What's wrong with that?
When you go to people's weddings, do you call them to find out what cake they're having?
Sometimes I do, yes. I do.
Listen to me. You have to make a choice in your life, okay? There are some people who are like Aunt Esther. And there are some people in this world who would kill to have an Aunt Esther. Just for the yucks, you know? But if you want Aunt Esther in your life, you are a grown woman now, and you have got to draw the boundaries for Aunt Esther, because Esther's not going to draw her own boundaries.
Coming up,
And she's going to come to your door on the day before your wedding demanding to... And then she's just nuts, and she can't be a part of your new life. It's one or the other.
closed captioning with Judge Millian. We're back with the case of Esther Mahomes, who blames her niece, Sarah Ketterman, for a wedding dress mess.
Your inability to set a boundary is what led to this. Like, if I was in your shoes, I would have just called her and said, listen, I have altered the dress. I still don't like it. I'm going to use the rest of the money to buy a dress, because now we're 3 days from the wedding or whatever,
And then
3
3
weeks
days
or whatever.
before the wedding, I have her calling me all
then
the
you block
time,
her.
calling my
Then you
mother,
block her.
showing up to my door, knocking on my... It's not like she lives far.
Okay, then seriously, she can't be a part of your life. If that's how she is, if she's going to come to your door on the day before your wedding demanding to... And then she's just nuts, and she can't be a part of your new life. It's one or the other. Do you want to be a part of her life?
I'm so deeply hurt right now.
Yeah, I know, but how are you going to feel next week?
I don't know. Of course I want to be a part of
I
it.
know that,
But
okay?
under the
Because I know that all of this comes from this crazy place of love, which is really needs
Deep love.
Yes, deep love, a little too deep. It's like a knife, how deep, a knife cut, how deep it is. You don't think about how your wants affect the other person. You don't think about the fact that this is her wedding and now she has to think about you and your stress and your coconut distaste and all the other things. You've got to think of, if you listen, a little less you talk, a little more you listen, all right? If you love someone, then you take into account their feelings too. And it sounds like you so wanted a daughter that you just wanted to control this wedding in a way that really isn't your place to control. And I really am stunned. Your mom needs to woman up a little around here, because your mom shouldn't have let this get this far. Okay, because she's the link between the two of you, and she's going like this.
Judge Million's verdict when justice for the people returns.
You also have to woman up yourself. If someone is toxic in your life, you need to just X them out. And if you don't want to X them out, then you need to find that happy place where she respects your boundaries. If you set a boundary and then said, I'm not talking to you until you respect my boundary, she strikes me as the kind of person who would then come back because she just can't be without you, you know? So I don't know, and I don't care, because I'm done with you guys once I rule. But this is the kind of thing that you want to think about. You can't let someone hijack your wedding, which you didn't, and I'm glad you didn't. You know, you showed, you know, some fortitude there. But you must have been like really nervous coming down the aisle, knowing that she was going to see for the first time that you were so you kind of did let someone hijack your wedding, right? Because you were too afraid to speak and communicate. Okay?
Honestly,
communication involves putting her in her place and setting a boundary. And it would have gone a lot better for everybody had you done that. But you live and you learn. As far as this case is concerned, I am not ordering her to return a penny of the $750. That was a gift you gave her for taking the dress, which she did.
All rise.
Judge Million has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied. Rachel Moore claims the event planner she hired for a dance team reunion served subpar food and ruined the party. Tony Johnson says he tried to warn the plaintiff that she expected more than her tight budget allowed.
Okay, Ms. Moore, you are suing Mr. Johnson for $1,800 that you say he misused funds that were intended for a really nice event that turned out to be kind of cheesy, according to you. And so you want the entire cost of the event refunded to you. Talk to me and tell me what happened.
We used to be in a dance team together, and we were going to have an alumni party. We haven't saw each other for like 5 years. So I reached out to him on social media. I talked to him about what I wanted. Hey, I'm going to throw an alumni party for all of our dance mates. It's our 15-year anniversary. What can you do? You're an event planner. I didn't give him my idea, my vision at that point. I just wanted to see how he felt about it because we haven't talked in a while.
Okay, so he said, yeah, I'd love to event plan.
Right.
Okay. Well, but you want free work out of him. He'd much rather be there as a guest, right?
I didn't think it would be free.
No. Well, okay, so was it?
No.
Okay.
He gave me a flat rate.
What was the flat rate?
$100.
For his services to pay, you know that's essentially free, right? How much were the tickets to attend the event?
$65.
Okay. Go on. What happens?
I emailed him the theme, which was the old Hollywood theme, so I wanted red carpet, I wanted champagne flutes, I wanted elegant food. I wanted it to be an elegant night. That's part of the invitation. That was not what I got.
And how much money was your budget in order to have the glamorous event?
So we sold 40 tickets, which was $2,600.
That's it?
That's it.
And is how many people? And that's for 40 people?
Correct.
And where was the venue?
Okay, so it was going to be at my dance studio.
The dance studio that you own is
Correct.
the same one where you guys used to be before?
Correct.
Oh, so that would have been really nice, but it didn't end up there?
Well, so 3 weeks before the event, I had a plumbing issue, and so we weren't able to have that because they weren't going to be able to
plumbing issue
fix
wouldn't
it.
have been solved in
Not
3 weeks?
Not for a month after.
Oh, my Lord. Okay.
So I let him know that immediately.
And?
Like, hey, I got to find another venue. I know it's going to cut into the budget.
How much did it cut into the budget?
$800.
Okay, a third of the budget?
A third.
So then, did you have any discussions with him about what kind of food was going to be served?
Yes, I gave him everything in my
No, you gave him a
board.
vision board, which
Right.
was, let's see your vision board. That's basically a picture of super nice stuff that you can't afford on your budget.
Correct.
I got it. But,
Correct.
And what my question, on your budget, even before you had to rent a place and eat up half of the budget. Yeah, no, that's like, you know, an Oscar gala, okay? And the problem with you is you have Chanel taste and Target budget. But what I don't understand, you're nodding, you're bobbleheading, but the truth of the matter is what you served was very different from this.
Yes, Your Honor.
In fact, you served deli platters.
Correct.
Do you have the picture of what was served?
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. She wanted that and she got this. Right, you hear that chuckle? That chuckle is because before you serve this, you best tell her. Did you have any discussion with her about that you were going to serve this? Did you warn her this was what she was going to get?
Yes, Your
No.
Honor.
Yes, how did you warn her?
I warned her via email. Trying to reach Rachel was like pulling teeth. Anytime that I called her, she wasn't answering. I would email her, I would text her. It would take 24 hours sometimes for her to respond.
So
I'm
what?
very busy.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. Do not talk
I'm
to each
sorry.
other. The time for that has passed.
Sorry.
So what? It would
So,
take 24 hours.
it would take 24
So
hours.
show me the email that you sent to her saying, this is the best I can do with what
Yeah.
the budget you've left me.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to confirm what kind of food you were wanting to have for this party. I know your mood board has some charcuterie and finger foods. Let's chat more about the menu. Please give me a call before the end of the day. That was on August 8th. When was the party?
September 12th.
On August 12th, you also text her. I just wanted to know if you had any updates about the party venue. I'm hoping to work something out with the caterers. I'd like to know as soon as possible where the new spot is. Let me know. She responds the next day, sorry for the late reply. I've been so busy trying to get everything together for the party and running the studio. I went ahead and booked a new venue. Okay, but where is the news about how much that's going to cut into the budget and all that? And where is the discussion between you guys regarding the food?
That discussion had already happened. He never said, I cannot come through with
Well, what did
with
you think he
anything."
could come through
No,
with when you took away a
would've
third
been
of the
okay.
budget? How do you not have another discussion with him?
Coming up on Justice for the People.
You literally just sprang it on her because I don't think you were really looking at this as a job.
To a certain extent, I was looking at it as
Then what
a
did she
job,
pay you
but
for
I
this?
was
$100
looking-
for real?
I was paid $100.
And later,
Instead, what was it?
It was him sleeping with a girl in our bed and videos of them two having sex in my room.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-MILLION. We're back with the case of Rachel Moore, who blames event planner Tony Johnson for a lackluster party.
You have to know that now there's a lot less left to work with.
Right, but I would have been okay if he said, hey, I will cut the gift bags. I would have did that
I
myself.
know.
A lot of the stuff I had to do myself. The red carpet I had to do
Hold on.
myself. The flatware I had to do myself. The stems for the table I had to do myself.
Hey, Rachel, I've tried to call you a couple of times today, but you must be busy. This is on August 27th. This is still 2 weeks before the party.
Correct.
Give me a call soon so we can talk about the guest list and what you want for these gift bags. And she responds the next day, sorry I missed you yesterday. I'm around to talk today if you have time. What happened after that?
I never heard from him.
Okay, so you never called her on the 28th?
Your Honor, I called her back on the 28th. She didn't answer.
So basically you two don't talk? Between the 28th and the 12th?
Your Honor, that's how the situation ended
I know,
up.
but okay, you're a party planner. You know, you've seen that she wants this.
Correct.
You're gonna give her this.
With no
But you
hands up.
don't warn her because you know this is
I
going to be a
tried to
big.
warn her.
No, I tried to warn her. I'd send her a picture of the platters and say this is the best I can do, and then wait for her response because you spent $500 on the goodie bags. You spent $200 on food.
No, I spent $560 on the food. That was
No,
what
you
was
didn't.
left.
You spent $560 on food and liquor.
Right.
Yeah, you spent
Correct.
$200 on food. $200 and something on food.
Correct.
If I'm in her shoes and I'm warned, I would rather you spend $200 on goodie bags and $465 on food.
Correct.
Right. But between August 28th and September 12th, what effort at all did you? I'm not done speaking. And if you go, I feel like you're trying to think of what you want to say as opposed to listening. What effort did you make between August 28th and September 12th to convey to her the crisis that you were in?
Well, when we talked on the phone, I tried to let her know at that point, but she overtalked me.
What does that mean?
Basically, everything.
How did you try to let her know? What'd you say?
When we were on the phone, I was telling her that I lost the caterer, so I was going to have to go outside with a caterer that I've never used
Yeah,
before.
but that doesn't matter. Switching caterers isn't a big deal. It matters how much money you spend on the food.
It wasn't a big deal, but as the planner, it's up to me to just tell you what I have and to show you and let you guide me on what you want.
Who am I in this scenario? Am I the caterer or the client?
You're Rachel. You're my friend.
If I'm Rachel, then you need to show me the platters of cold cuts. That's the job that you didn't do. You literally just sprang it on her because I don't think you were really looking at this as a job.
To a certain extent, I was looking at it as a job.
What did she pay you for this? $100? For real?
I was paid $100.
By the way, how was the party?
He brought the food like 15 minutes before it was starting. I was emceeing.
Which really doesn't matter because it's cold cuts, but anyway.
Right. So I was emceeing, so I didn't really get to express how I felt. Everybody was having a good time, I felt. But in my mind, the party ended early because we ran out of everything.
You ran out of food?
And alcohol.
And alcohol?
Yes.
How did you run out of alcohol?
Because they drunk it all.
Because they what?
They drunk it all.
Okay, but these are your friends too, you knew.
Well,
I mean, like, you knew that you had a...
Exactly.
So how'd you remedy the alcohol problem?
Your Honor, he didn't even discuss with me what kind of alcohol. He has Prosecco.
Well, okay,
on here.
stop. I want you to hear what you just said. He didn't even discuss with me what kind of alcohol.
Correct.
Right. When you say he didn't discuss it with you, you also didn't discuss it with him.
No, the only thing that was discussed was we're not able to have the champagne. That was it.
And you should have made sure that the expectations of your client were in the right place. Because if she ends up cutting a third of your budget, but if that leaves so little, then cuts had to be made, as in no goodie bags. And you should have told her, hey, we got to get rid of $500 worth of goodie bags and we should have better food.
I agree with you, Your Honor. I mean...
So now what?
I tried to make it work.
Did you pay for your ticket?
No, that was
How much was it? $65?
Correct.
So he got paid $100 and he didn't pay for his ticket?
Correct.
So he kind of got $165. Did you pay for your ticket?
No.
So basically, if you were to get a full refund of everything you paid your party planner, it would be $100.
I'm sorry?
You heard me just fine, Punchy.
If I was to get a full refund of everything I
In other words, he breached the contract with you. So you want the entire contract price back?
Well, I want to pay back some of the people that came.
The people
I don't want them to have a bad taste in their
Let me be
mouth.
very, very clear. They shouldn't get a penny back. They didn't do the party. You did the party. They didn't bother to party plan or do anything else for the party. They just showed up, had a good time, which apparently was had by all, even if the food wasn't great. Okay, because they drank all the liquor. They drank $300 and something worth of liquor. What was the liquor? Just beer and wine for real?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't understand how you don't communicate. I don't understand how you don't communicate. And we are here because of a failure of communication. He is absolutely not going to pay you $1,800 for the party. That's not going to happen. But I think you exercised your duties as party planner exactly the way she intended you to, because she just threw money at you and told you to exercise your judgment. I just don't feel your judgment was worth it, so I'm going to order you to pay back every single penny she paid you. $100 verdict for the plaintiff.
All rise.
Judge Millian has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $100.
I'm not happy with the amount. I'm happy I won, and I just hope that we can save our friendship.
Honestly, giving her back $100, if that helps her learn how to budget, I'm for it.
Coming up.
She stumbled upon some photos that had pictures of me committing acts with another woman.
X.
While you were with her?
Closed captioning provided by Judge Millian. Harrison Edwards claims his laptop was damaged during a heated argument with his nosy fiancée. Teresa Castillo says the plaintiff is to blame after she discovered he had cheated. Ms. Castillo is countersuing for $10,000.
Okay, Mr. Edwards, you are suing your former girlfriend, Ms. Castillo, for $2,588 for breaking your laptop, and you have a counterclaim against him for $10,000 for rent and living expenses and money that you spent on planning a wedding. Okay, let's hear from you first, Mr. Edwards. What happened here?
Your Honor, I met this beautiful, courageous, and charismatic woman 18 months ago at a kids' play place with my son, where she was with her nephew. We started going out on dates. movies.
I'm over here. I just wanted you to know.
I apologize.
Okay. You started going out on dates, and you developed a relationship.
Yes.
And you thought it was a good one.
Yes.
And
we
so did
both
she.
enjoyed each other's time, company, and learning more about each other. And it was a very prosperous
what went
relationship.
wrong?
After we decided to move in together, there was some times where I became unemployed.
All right. So how long were you unemployed?
Well, I was unemployed for 6 months while I was still paying.
With her?
Yes.
All right. So she was paying all of the bills?
I was paying for them for a full year.
For a full year. And then for 6 months, I mean, at that point, once you were unemployed, she was paying all of the bills. So what happened to the computer that you're suing for?
The computer was open and unlocked, and she stumbled upon some photos that had pictures of me committing acts with another woman.
X.
While you were with her?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Coming up,
I ran around the couch to grab it from her because she was insistent on looking at other photos and documents on the laptop.
And you wanted to keep that nice and hush-hush, but you videotape it.
closed captioning provided justice for the people with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Harrison Edwards, who brought his ex-fiancée Teresa Castillo to court over a broken laptop.
And so you open, like the computer's open, and then you start snooping?
So, sorry, Your Honor.
She was doing a lot of snooping.
So no one's talking to you?
I actually, that night, had to study because I'm planning on opening my own wellness spa. So I was studying a course. I had to use his laptop because my laptop was in the repair place that he dropped off.
What pictures did you see?
Oh, I opened the laptop and there's just another woman sleeping.
I don't understand. Wait, but when you open a laptop, pictures
well,
don't come up.
there's a little album, right, Your Honor, that says us. So I'm like, oh, how cute. My fiance, by the way, he's my ex-fiance, has a little cute album of us, me and him.
And
but
instead,
no,
what was it?
It was him sleeping with a girl in our bed and videos of them two having sex in my room, in my condo that I pay for, Your Honor. Of course, he wanted to get in an argument with me, grab the laptop from me. I stood up, he grabs me, grabs the laptop. I'm pulling this way, it releases, I release it, and it hits him in the face, where, Your Honor, he gets a little tiny microscopic bruise, the size of the little mole I have on my face, mind you, and he's crying about it, and that's what he wants to sue me for after.
No, he's actually suing you for the cost of the laptop, but why? Did the laptop break over that?
Well, we were fighting over the actual laptop, and then she let go of the laptop, and because it was such a forceful grasp that she insisted on keeping the laptop,
Forceful
that it
is how
hit
you
me in
have
the
to
face.
Stop. Go ahead.
We
Go
were
ahead.
fighting over the laptop in between the couch. I ran around the couch to grab it from her because she was insistent on looking at other photos and documents on the laptop.
And you wanted to keep that nice and hush-hush, but you videotape it. You've dragged your ex-fiancé, whose heart you broke, to court over what again? The cost of the computer, because the computer broke when it hit your face? I don't understand.
Judge Milian's verdict when justice for the people returns. Milian.
Tell me about your counterclaim against him for 10 grand.
I spent about a total of 10 grand because I also spent money on our wedding. I paid for the cake and I paid for the flowers and I paid for all these things.
What money did you spend that you can't get back?
I guess it's not about getting it back. It's about the fact that I'm suing him because I was paying for all these things thinking that we had this stable future together.
Right.
That
So
I was
you-
investing into a fiance
So you
and a
wanted
man.
a risk-free relationship where nothing could go wrong, and I mean, that doesn't work that way. Consider yourself lucky that you discovered it when you did. I know you may have felt crushed at the time, but now you're better off, right? And Mr. Edwards, so I guess the last remaining question is, am I gonna make her pay you for a computer that hit your face when you were pulling it and she let go because she was being too forceful when she found pictures of you sleeping with another woman in her apartment?
Your Honor, I think it's important to note...
Let me think. Wait, I need to think. Don't talk, because I'm thinking. No, I'm not going to make her pay you. So on your lawsuit against her, 0. But on your lawsuit against him, also 0.
Judge Milian has ruled both claims have been denied. Mark Boyd claims his girlfriend snooped on his phone, then smashed it after she discovered he had cheated. Kayla Heder says she's not responsible for the damage, so she's not paying her deceitful ex a thing.
Mr. Boyd, you're suing Ms. Heder for $1,100 because, according to you, she intentionally broke your phone. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm suing my bitter ex because she broke my phone, and she's a...
How long did you guys date?
We dated for about a year. The first 9 months were great. We used to go to parties, hang out all the time. It was awesome. And then she got this new job, started paying less attention to me, and, you know...
Do you require a lot of attention?
I like a little attention,
okay.
Not gonna lie. And she started getting really suspicious and jealous of me. And, you know, I'm a bartender in Hollywood. I'm around, like, all different types of people. A lot of women come in the bar as well. She assumed I was flirting with all these women, which is not true. But one incident did happen where, you know, after last call, you know, one thing led to another, and I ended up in an entanglement. And
What is an entanglement?
well, fortunately, I did cheat on her.
Oh, you cheated on her. Okay. And then did she catch you, or did you tell her?
Well, I was going to tell her. I invited her over to my place the next night, and she showed up, and we were chatting, and then all of a sudden she got really ill and was all doubled up, and I was like, all right, so I rushed to the hospital.
What do you mean by doubled up? Like doubled over in pain?
Yeah, doubled over in pain. She very ill.
So she got to the hospital. What was the issue?
Appendicitis.
Oh, geez. Okay. So she's in the hospital, and is this where your phone gets broken?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm in the hospital the next day because she had surgery for the appendicitis, and you know, I went away for a break, came back, and my phone was several feet away from the bed, and I was like, this is kind of weird. So I picked up the phone, and the screen was completely cracked and shattered, and I had realized that
at this point, had you told her that you cheated on her?
Not yet.
Oh,
I was trying to get to that point.
You were trying to get to that point, but the appendicitis got in the way.
It wasn't the right time.
Apparently you must have gotten to that point without him. So tell me what happened.
So he was right, and I was suspicious because I got a new job, and I was working days, he was working nights. We kind of couldn't match our schedules, and it was kind of falling apart. And I felt it, he felt it, and we were trying to talk. I came to his place, and I was in pain. I was in really bad pain.
Yeah, you had an appendicitis attack.
Right, right, and it was very painful. And we had to use my car because he's working. He's working as a bartender in Hollywood, and he can't even afford a car, or I don't know.
Well, I didn't pick him. You picked him. Why are you telling me?
I was a good boyfriend.
Just stop.
I was a good
don't really care.
And brought her to the hospital.
Stop talking.
Okay.
I love how insulted she is. Like, can you believe that? Yeah, I wasn't dating him. Go on.
Yeah, I was in love, I guess, and then I opened my eyes and I saw that.
Okay, so you had the surgery, and the next day,
yeah, he left me.
His phone. He left you?
Yeah, he left me in the hospital.
Okay.
And I was in a surgery room, and after that, I woke up. I was under I was on drugs because I had to go through this.
So, and then nobody was there?
Nobody was there. He came to me to visit me in the morning.
Okay.
And
do you mind waiting? Okay. Go ahead.
He tried to talk to me, and I didn't really want to listen to it because I was still going with...
He tried to talk to you and say what? What do you mean?
He was just trying to, be...
He better be explaining where he's been all night.
He didn't.
Right.
He did.
Didn't you expect him to be there for you when you came out of surgery?
I did. I did, and he wasn't...
How long did you date him?
For 1 year.
Okay, go on.
Unfortunately. So we were just talking, and he left the room and left his phone right next to me. And I took his phone, and I wanted to...
Was there a passcode on it?
Yeah, there was a passcode, and I figured it's like 4 zeros, like... Who would set this passcode? I don't know.
That's the original passcode. So
yeah,
so you're an open book. Let's see what the book says. So you put in 4 zeros. It opened it up, and what'd you see?
I saw everything I was worried about.
What did you see?
I got nothing to hide.
Stop.
You can check all mine.
Do you hear me?
Okay, sir.
Go ahead.
I saw messages that clearly...
I need to know exactly what the messages said. What did they say?
It says, hey, sexy, we're gonna see each other, something like that. And it was clearly that they were having an affair.
Coming up on Justice for the People.
And it was shattered. You know what it takes to shatter a phone?
I assume it
Put your hands down or I'm gonna tie you up. And trust me, you will not enjoy it.
Like that.
And later,
When he wins, what do? Do you walk up to him and say, hey, where's my cut?
Well, the first thing, I can't say it. I can't say it in front of you, Judge. I don't want the bailiff to hit
No,
but
bailiff isn't gonna hit you. You just say it and we'll bleep it.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your con, we're back with the case of Mark Boyd, who blames his ex-girlfriend, Kayla Heder, for breaking his phone.
Maybe I didn't do a right thing, then I opened his phone. But after that, I just
Oh, no,
put it...
girl, you did the right thing, but go on.
I just put it right next to me, and it probably fell off my bed.
Oh, stop it. You threw the phone after you read that stuff. Come on.
I didn't do it. Why would I do
yes,
that?
you did. Yeah, of course you did.
I always think about
Were
consequences.
you waving your hand at me?
No.
Is that what was? Yeah. Go ahead.
I always think about consequences. I would never damage his property.
Why not? What about this would not make you angry?
It is all crazy, and I was pissed. But I was already thinking about breaking up with him because it didn't work out.
Did you throw the phone?
I did not. I put it right next to me on the bed. I'm not keeping his phone.
How did the phone end up on the floor?
I don't know how it ended up on the
But
floor.
you know that it was on the floor when he came back in.
Yeah, he took it from the floor and he said, oh, it's like, it's...
And it was shattered. You know what it takes to shatter a phone?
I assume it
Put your hands down or I'm going to tie you up. And trust me, you will not enjoy it.
Like that.
Okay.
Oh my God, see this man? Yes, so...
How did it get shattered and on the floor?
I have no idea.
Come on. I'd have more respect for you if you owned up to it. And you, why are you laughing? You're a cheat and a liar.
Right?
What is so funny about this to you? I've got a woman who gets out of surgery and finds out her boyfriend of 1 year is a cheat and a liar, which there's no dispute about. You're not an open book. You had just slept with somebody else and you still hadn't told her. So where's this open book stuff from you? You're just a cheat and a liar like every other average cheat and liar. There's nothing special about you.
Listen, Your Honor.
Did you just tell me to listen? Why don't you start that sentence over again?
Your Honor,
yeah.
I have the proof right here.
That?
The message that she read that caused her to throw my phone.
Okay, let me see
She
it.
was so mad.
Let me see it. Stop looking at her and let me see it. I'm sorry, did you bring this to me in your defense? Hey, sexy. Hey, yourself. I'm busy today, but I'll be wide open tonight. Round 2, or is it 3? Oh, it depends on how you count. My place tonight is 7:30.
I'm not proud of this moment.
What? Then why are you giving it to me? You've got and then there's a peach that makes a guy forget about his girlfriend. This is you defending yourself, or I guess you're telling me, sure, who wouldn't throw the phone after this?
Well, we're here today because she broke my phone. So she saw those messages and
So yeah, you're you're not giving this to me in your defense. You're giving this to me because you're showing me what a piece of peach you are that you would.
You know, I'm not the best guy.
Actually, she
I'm not the
probably
best
threw
guy.
the phone. No, actually, this is good evidence for you.
I'm not a good guy.
Listen, I don't need you to come to the conclusion of what happened with that phone. The only thing I do know is that the phone didn't throw itself. And it takes a throw to shatter. He saw it clear across the room. How did it get there? It didn't walk on its own 2 legs. You are submitting into evidence the cost of a brand new phone to replace that phone. You don't get replacement value in court. You get the depreciated value of the item at the time of the breakage. So how long before that had you bought that phone?
It had been 2 months.
Do you have the proof of that?
I do. Here is the invoice.
Is that the invoice for the new phone, or is that the invoice for the phone you bought?
Phone I bought.
Before she broke it, the phone that was broken.
Oh, it might be the other one. Sorry.
You don't get replacement value. What I'd like to know is how old that phone was.
It was 2 months old.
Okay,
So
now
it's
I
fairly
need the
new.
proof of what you're saying because you're a liar and a cheat. So I'm going to need some backup there. Do you have that, yes or no?
I do not have any evidence of
Okay. Do you know what kind of phone? Do you don't have the phone itself, right?
that. On me right now?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, I don't have it.
Because this is a black dress and I'm in the middle of a trial. That's what all right, so I realize that there are no witnesses to you throwing the phone, but I am still obligated to use my common sense when a case comes before me. This is not a criminal case. You're not charged with a crime. I do not have to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of throwing the phone. I have to find that it is proven to me by a preponderance of the evidence. That means that it's more likely than not. I know what it takes to break a phone because I drop the phone every day. So I know what it takes to shatter a phone like this. So I know that you threw the phone. I don't blame you for throwing the phone. But then you got to pay for it. That's how it works in court. So I'm going to assess a depreciated value to the phone that he can't prove when he bought. I'm going to order you to pay $600 for the broken phone. Good luck to you, darling.
All rise.
Judge Millian has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $600.
I just wish you the best. It's good to see you again.
I can't believe you're saying that. I'm done.
Do you want to hug it out?
Coming up.
I knew he won the $800, and he didn't think I was in the audience. So when he seen me, his eyes opened up, and he said, "Hey," and I said, "Hey, I'm glad you're about to give me $800."
Closed captioning provided by Judge Millian. John Wheaton claims a fellow stand-up comedian stole his joke, then won a contest, so he deserves the prize money. Terrence Phillips says he put his own spin on Mr. Wheaton's joke, then added a few of his own to win.
Mr. Wheaton, you are suing Mr. Phillips for $800 because, according to you, he stole some of your jokes and won some prize money, which you feel you were entitled to.
That's correct. Well, good morning, Your Honor. Well, one day we met up at a comedy cafe. It was a group of us, and I don't know if you've been around comics. Our brains work a little different. We like to feed off each other. About 6 of us, and we're just shooting off jokes to each other. And I said a joke, and I'm doing a show later that night. I didn't want the joke, so I just said, "Hey, this is a throwaway joke." They laughed. Even Mr. Terrence laughed at the joke, but he heard me say it was a throwaway joke.
What does a throwaway joke mean?
I mean, we call them throwaway in the industry, but that don't mean we didn't throw them in the trash. We're just not using them that night, Your Honor.
So you hear that, and what do? You use them in your set that night?
He said a joke about a electric vehicle.
What was the joke?
He said, all right, look, so I'm 30, I'm getting up in age, so now I'm looking for a self-driving vehicle. So I go down to the dealership, right? And the dealer looks at me, he's like, you can't pay this. I'm like, no, I can pay this. So first month, I'm there. Bam, throw the money down. Told you I could pay it. Second month, I'm there. Slide it in. Told you, Mr. Dealer, I'm paying this car off. Third month, he was right. I wake up the next morning and I see my car driving itself back to the dealership, and I'm running down the block. You know what I mean? I'm like, Alexa, stop!
Your Honor, that's not even how the joke goes, Your Honor.
Oh, wait. That's very important what you just said. You just said that's not how the joke goes.
That's correct.
Coming up.
Did he tell you, give me 400, give me the 800?
He said 400. He said 400. But look, he doesn't deserve anything. Look, he said this is a throwaway joke.
Closed cap. Judge Millian. We're back with a case of John Wheaton, who brought Terrence Phillips to court for stealing his joke.
Well, tell me how you say the joke.
I'm proud of myself. I'm becoming grown. I'm 40. I'm being, more of an adult. The first thing I did when I turned 40 was went to the car dealership. Never owned a car in my life that was brand new with no miles. I'm trying to be more mature and go green like the rest of the world. So I got an electric vehicle as my first car off the car lot. I was very proud of myself. I just didn't like the way, when I was signing for the car, the way they treated me at the dealership. They looked at me like I couldn't pay for the car. So I had something to prove to them. So the very first month, I went to the car dealership and threw the cashier's check. Here you go. Paid it in full, Judge. Second month, paid it in full, Judge. And the third month, well, they was right. I couldn't pay for the car in full. So they was right. And that Monday morning, I saw my car drive itself back to the dealership. It messed me up, because I was running down the street saying, Alexa, and Siri, stop. I didn't have enough time to name my car. Usually, you know, black people like to name cars, but I didn't have time to, you know. So
I got
that's
news
how
for
the
you.
joke
It's
really
not just
goes.
black people who like to name cars.
Yeah, we always like to name cars, but I didn't have it long enough, Judge. That's how the joke goes.
Lord, I miss Sergeant Pepper. Okay, that was my first car. All right. So how many jokes did you tell?
I threw about 4 to 5 jokes in there.
Okay. So you win the $800, and then are you in the audience when he tells a joke?
I was there when the joke was said because after my show, it got out early. I went to the comedy place where everybody goes. It's called the Comedy Place, where everybody goes and hangs out. I see Mr. Terrence up on stage. I said,
So you actually heard him say the joke?
I heard him say the joke.
All right, so what do you do? So you see that he wins?
Yes.
And when he wins, what do you do? Do you walk up to him and say, hey, where's my cut?
Well, the first thing, I can't say it. I can't say it in front of you, Judge. I don't want the bailiff to hit me.
No, bailiff isn't going to hit you. You just say it, and we'll bleep it.
I was so angry, but I know he's an upcoming comic. You know, so I knew he won the $800, and he didn't think I was in the audience. So when he seen me, his eyes opened up, right? And he said, hey, and I said, hey, I'm glad you're about to give me $800.
Judge Million's verdict when justice for the people returns. Promotional consideration provided by nominated Justice for the People, Judge Million.
He stole my joke, Your Honor.
Right, but he won for his set, and there were more jokes than that one joke in his set.
Yeah,
so
he won. It was the competition.
You probably would have gotten some money if you hadn't been so greedy. If you had said, hey, you said 5 jokes, one of them is mine.
I didn't even want 800. I wanted only
Except for
400.
that's exactly what you demanded.
I wanted 400. I said, hey, good for you. You're an upcoming comic. You used my joke to win.
Did he tell you, give me 400, give me the 800?
He said 400. He said 400. But look, he doesn't deserve anything. Look, he said this is a throwaway joke.
Okay, so you don't deny that you took the joke. You're saying you thought you had the right to take the joke because you heard the phrase throwaway joke.
Yes.
You stole the guy's joke. I am going to order you to pay him, but just for his joke, not for all the other jokes that won you the money. So I'm going to order you to pay him $200 for stealing his joke. Verdict for the plaintiff.
All rise.
Judge Million has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $200.
Look, man. Hey, you got your 200 fair and square. Next time we go to the coffee shop, it's on me.
Hey, I hope that $600 is worth your career because it's over.
Derek Fairfield claims he was injured when a reckless teammate threw a bat during a softball game. Justin Rodriguez says Mr. Fairfield was standing too close to the batter's box, so he's responsible for his own injuries.
Mr. Fairfield, you are suing Mr. Rodriguez for $750 for injuries you sustained due to his negligence, according to you. Tell me what happened.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, I just want to say the defendant over here, Justin, he thinks he's Babe Ruth. He takes softball way too seriously. Like literally, he'll slide into base. He'll run into the person standing there, even though like he's already out. He can't take a joke at all for anything.
You guys are on the same softball team?
Yes, ma'am. We are.
All right. And how long have you been on the same softball team?
About.
Hold on one second. I'm going to talk to him first because he's the plaintiff, and the plaintiff comes in with the burden of proof. So he first has to state his complaint, and then you get to defend it.
Sorry, ma'am.
Go ahead.
So we've been on the same softball team about 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay.
Getting to know the guy. This guy's just a knucklehead. Like he takes the game serious. I'm like, bro, just loosen up a bit. You know, enjoy the game, have fun, and he's got a chip on his shoulder all the time.
Okay, that's a conclusion. You're not specifying for me what it is that makes you draw that conclusion. What about him makes you feel like he has a chip on his shoulder?
The main thing is that every time he bats, he lets go of it. Like he
lets go of the bat?
He flings it across the field.
And it goes hurling a long distance?
Yes, ma'am.
How long does it go?
Well, it's in a few different instances, but it goes across the pitcher's mound. He's hit a single into the left, and the bat went flying down the third baseline one time.
Okay,
he has
so
no control.
has anybody called that to his attention, that perhaps this is a habit he needs to break?
Yeah, I have many times.
Has anyone else?
Not that I know of, but...
Okay, so how many times have you seen him do that?
You didn't cry when
at least 3 times.
Okay,
so ice cream's on me.
and you're suing in court today because what?
He gave me a concussion.
All right, so you're at a game. Which game of the season was this?
This was the 3rd game of the season.
All right, and tell me what happened.
So the 3rd game, I'd already told him, you know, stop. Captain put me behind him in the batting order. I was getting ready to bat. He was
I'm
ready
going to
to
ask you.
bat.
Here, I'm going to need you to stop banging the thing because it's just. That's okay. It's distracting.
Yeah.
So you're at the 3rd game, and what happens?
So he's up to bat. I'm standing behind him on the on-deck circle, and
what's the on-deck circle?
It's just, it's like near, you know, like the crowd kind of like towards the back where you...
Okay.
Yeah, so I was standing there and...
Near the on-deck circle or
No,
in the
I was-
on-deck circle?
Yes, ma'am, I was inside the on-deck circle.
You were inside the on-deck circle?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
I didn't think this would happen, but he did it again, and he got up to swing, and he let go of it, and he flung it right backwards towards me, and it hit me in the head.
Wow, okay,
Yeah.
and what happened to you?
I fainted immediately.
Okay, and then?
They rushed me to the ambulance came, rushed me to the hospital, and yeah, they diagnosed me with a concussion.
Okay, what did the hospital, did you stay in the hospital or were you let out after they did
I
their
was there
x-rays or
about-
MRIs or whatever they did?
Yeah, I was a couple hours.
All right, and what was the defendant's reaction when this happened?
He didn't care. I mean, I told him he needs to pay for my medical bills, and he's still denying it. He's just...
What do you mean by denying it? What's he saying? That didn't happen, we're not on the same team? What exactly is he saying?
He's saying it's not his fault. And
It's not his fault, why not? If it's his bat that hit your head, why does he think it's not his fault?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, let's find out. All right, Mr. Rodriguez, what happened here?
Derek is completely right. I did, in fact, let go of the bat. It did, in fact, hit him in the head, but he's leaving out key details.
Such as?
The fact that he wasn't standing where he's supposed to be.
Where's he supposed to be standing?
He was supposed to be standing on the on-deck circle, and he wasn't.
He wasn't standing
At
on the
all.
on-deck
No, that's
circle.
not true.
Where was he standing?
Right next to me, while
Right
I'm
next to
swinging
you.
the bat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how far from you was he standing when this happened?
5.
5 feet from you? Did you know that he was standing there?
Gradually, it came to my attention that he was getting closer towards me.
Okay. And so you swing the bat, you let go, and it goes flying how far?
The exact 5 feet. You know.
Okay, so you're suggesting it flew the normal amount and it's his fault for standing so close to you?
I'm suggesting the fact that I am not liable for his negligence.
Because his negligence was standing so close to you?
Yes, he was going against the rules, ma'am.
Okay, because the
game.
rules say you have to be,
On
when
the
you're
on-deck.
next at bat, you have to be in the, what's it called again?
On-deck circle.
On-deck circle. All right, and I mean, did you talk to him and say, dude, I'm sorry, why were you so close? Like, what conversation, if any, did you have with him, or did you not have a conversation with him?
I had a conversation with him the day after.
All right, and how did that conversation go?
It was heated.
Because who called who?
He texted me.
And said what?
And just reiterated the fact that I keep on letting go of the bat.
Coming up on Justice for the People.
I was standing there anyway because people don't really take it seriously. You know, people will stand
Oh,
there.
now it's you who doesn't want to take things seriously. You want
No.
you want everything to be a joke, and you have no problem with that.
And later,
Who was paying the parking fee?
That was the defendant.
Oh, he was paying the parking fee.
Correct.
Is that accurate?
Yes.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call One for the People with Judge Millian. We're back with a case of Derek Fairfield, who brought Justin Rodriguez to court over a softball injury.
Did you two speak after the concussion?
We did a bit.
And then who called who?
I called him and I said, hey man, you gave me a concussion, obviously, and I think you should pay for my medical bills.
And what was his response?
He said, no, bro. That wasn't my fault. You shouldn't have been standing so close. And I was like, dude, I wasn't standing close to you. He's in a state of denial, and he won't admit the fact that he messed up. He's just, like I said, he's...
Is it your testimony that you were standing in, what's that thing called again?
The on-deck circle, ma'am.
That you were standing inside the on-deck circle?
Yes, ma'am. I was standing in the on-deck circle.
Inside the on-deck circle?
I was just standing there to get a better look at the pitch.
I'm sorry, were you inside the on-deck circle at the time that you got hit by a bat? Yes or no?
Yes.
Why then, in your sworn complaint, do you say I was standing near the on-deck circle? Which is exactly what he says, that you weren't in the on-deck circle.
I mean, I don't know why it says that, but I was inside.
Well, your sworn testimony in the complaint is that you were near it. Why would you say you were near it if you were in it? And that is precisely, I can't help but notice, what his testimony is, that you weren't where you were supposed to be.
I was standing there, like, it's supposed to be the rules. You're not supposed to stand in there, but I was standing there anyway because people don't really take it seriously. You know, people will stand there.
Now it's you who doesn't want to take things seriously. You want it,
No.
you want everything to be a joke, and you have no problem with that.
No, Your Honor, I take things very seriously.
If you take them seriously,
Game time I do. Practice.
All right. Well, but then why are you right behind the battery where you shouldn't be?
I was
What
not.
is it you were trying to do? See the picture?
I was trying to look at the picture.
Okay, but you can't get a good look at the picture from the on-deck circle like everybody else does?
I was in the on-deck circle.
Why did you say you were near the on-deck circle? And according to you, he was not in the on-deck circle.
No, ma'am.
I believe that's
And
just a
neither of you
typo.
have brought me any witnesses from that day to support either of your positions, correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So the 750 represents what? Like is that your entire visit?
That's
or
after insurance covered.
after insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How do you not feel somewhat responsible for letting go? I mean, how close was he to you? Do you feel like he was literally just up on your grill where he shouldn't have been, and so you're zero responsible?
Yes, ma'am. He was. I don't feel like I should be responsible for someone else's actions, someone's negligence. There was nothing I could do once the bat was let go.
And according to you, the bat only went 5 feet.
5 feet.
And have you actually let go of the bat and where it's gone all the way to third base?
I've let go of the bat before, ma'am. Yes, I have.
In a couple.
Previous
How many
instances.
occasions did you do that?
3 other instances, ma'am.
Okay. But you're just saying this isn't one of them. This one was his fault.
I believe.
But I mean, everybody lets go of the bat. No one runs with the bat. So, you know, there's the acceptable amount and there's not. And I'm trying to understand how close to you say he was. Your prior testimony was that he was 5 feet away. But you seem to be, you know, like vacillating on that now. How far from you was he?
He might have been farther distance than I said before, ma'am.
Why are you standing where you're not supposed to be standing if you know that he's so reckless, according to you?
You know, I didn't think this would happen. I thought he would have listened to me by now. I've warned him so many times.
On the contrary, it puts you on notice that this might happen because it keeps happening and you keep complaining about it.
Right.
So.
Well, I thought maybe it would have gone through his brain by now that he needs to stop, like, swinging the bat like a maniac. Like, just drop it to the ground, man. It's not that hard. It's softball. Like, I mean, I grew up playing baseball, but, you know, it's an easy sport. It's like, just swing it and then you run. Don't fling it across the field.
But if you know that he has a propensity to do that, why is it then that you continue to, why is it then that you would take the risk of standing too close to him and not be standing where you're supposed to be standing, which is on deck? Instead, you're near the deck, because I do find that you were near the deck. You say in your sworn complaint that you were near the deck. He says you were near the deck. Magically today, because you want to make your case better, you tell me you were in the deck, but you weren't. You weren't. So I find that you weren't, and I'm just trying to understand why anybody would do something as crazy as stand really close to the guy who they're always complaining is constantly doing the wrong thing and letting go of the bat.
I understand. Like I said, I wanted a better view of the pitch.
Yeah, well, that cost you. How'd that go for you? You got a good view of the pitch?
I got a good view, but
yeah, all right.
Not now.
Yeah, all right. Based on the testimony that I've heard from you folks, I'm going to find you each 50% liable. That means that I'm ordering the defendant to pay the plaintiff half of the deductible bill. That would be $375, and I urge you both to be more careful in your actions.
All rise. Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $375.
I think you should be fully liable for this, buddy. I took the injury, and I still have to pay half of it. Come on.
I'm going to join a different league. I know that for a fact.
Coming up.
Because that's like your entire case, I guess, is he breached because he had stuff in the car. So it made his car more attractive to steal.
What you have is all I have.
Closed captioning provided by Milian. Jamie Linden claims his car was stolen after his employer guaranteed a safe place to park during a work trip. Mitchell Gilbert says Mr. Linden made the car a target for thieves by leaving valuables inside, so it's his own fault.
Okay, Mr. Linden, you are suing Mr. Gilbert for $589 that you say he owes you because your car was vandalized and he had insured safety. Tell me what happened here.
I was promised 24/7 security by Mr. Mitchell Well, I was working for his touring company.
Okay, tell me about the touring company. What kind of touring company is it?
Well, the touring company is it's a small theatrical musical production. I've been working there for over a year now as a electrical light and technician. I was promised four-month tour, and I was actually laid off from that tour early, and defendant was so gracious enough to grant me airfare back to St. Louis, where my car was stored securely. And whenever I got back, my car was nowhere to be found, and I found it in the state impound. And
how did it end up in the state impound?
I believe it was stolen.
Okay.
Because there was a massive breach in the back window. And
broken window?
Yes, it was a broken window in the back. And
okay. When you say he ensured the safety, explain that to me.
We had all chosen to park our cars at this one spot that he had guaranteed.
How did he guarantee this? Because this is some he doesn't own the parking lot, right?
Yeah, this was through a third-party contract.
Who was paying the parking fee?
That was the defendant, Your Honor.
He was paying the parking fee.
Correct.
Is that accurate?
Yes.
Coming up.
They didn't know the vehicle was stolen either.
Can I ask you a question? Did they provide the 24/7?
Allegedly.
What's that mean?
Well, they were supposed to.
Okay.
That was my agreement with them.
Closed captioning provided Judge Millian. We're back with the case of Jamie Linden, who blames Mitchell Gilbert for his stolen car.
Why did you get yourself so involved in that? Like, why didn't you just suggest, hey, this is a good parking place, and let them do their own thing with the parking place?
Well, I put my car there also, so I trusted this company. I'd never worked with them before, but the security
right, but
company,
when you put yourself so far in there, that's...
But we had a set of rules, and he violated the rules.
How did he violate the rules?
Well, we had an email exchange where I said to everyone, no items shall be left in his vehicle or in your vehicle. He left items in his vehicle, and the security people made rounds, and they took note of what...
They took note. Did they call him and say, hey, we're going to remove your items? Or
No.
did they call you and complain?
No, not at the time. I didn't know anything until after the fact.
Okay, well, who knows? Yeah, right. And I assume that somebody said, hey, things stolen from your facility. So I don't know when this note was written. I don't know if it was just, compiled afterwards. Do they have like a picture with a date on it?
They didn't know the vehicle was stolen either.
Can I ask you a question? Did they provide the 24/7?
Allegedly.
What's that mean?
Well, they were supposed to. That was my agreement with them. No other car was violated.
But the car was taken too, so the idea that it was taken because there were CDs in it doesn't really fly, because they actually took the car, so I don't know that that's the reason versus that there's no security.
No one knows, but he did violate the agreement of leaving things in his car, which is he left bait and he got...
He left what, bait?
Bait.
I don't know that it is bait if they stole the car too. Did anybody tell you the rules are you don't leave anything in the car, and if so, how did they tell you?
It was a guideline. As you can see here, the rules for parking would be here.
May I see that? So that is what was given to you by whom?
I was emailed
in an email?
by the defendant.
Okay. Hi all, listed below are the rules we have set for our company members. Rules for parking, no items left in your vehicle. Put your car in park and with the emergency brake engaged, yada, 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 a bunch of other things.
Judge Millian's verdict when justice for the people returns. Promotional consideration for people with Judge Millian.
Do you have an affidavit or something from, other than just typewriting on a piece of paper, from the company claiming that they saw items in the guy's car? Because that's like your entire case, I guess, is he breached because he had stuff in the car. So it made his car more attractive to steal.
What you have is all I had.
Your Honor, I have in an email from the defendant's words that there will be 24/7 security.
Yeah, and there wasn't. I mean, he's admitted that. I get it.
Yes.
I get it. And so the best argument he has is no longer, hey, you're suing the wrong party, because he has completely put himself into the agreement. I am ordering you to pay him the $589. You have a great case against them for violating your contract with them to provide a safe environment for the car, because they did not provide 24/7 security. And you have them admitting that. $589 verdict for the plaintiff.
All rise.
Judge Millian has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $589.
Just make sure It's a legit security company.
I had no idea they didn't have cameras that worked, and I had no idea they weren't hiding.
Xin chào tất cả các bạn, chào mừng các bạn đã quay lại với kênh của mình. Tiếp theo bài học của chúng ta ngày hôm nay đó chính là bài tập trang số 42, sách giáo khoa toán lớp 1, tập 1, quyển kết nối tri thức. Ở đây chúng ta sẽ có phần bài tập luyện tập như sau. Điền dấu nhỏ hơn, lớn hơn hoặc dấu bằng vào những cái phần hỏi chấm. Rồi, chúng ta sẽ cùng nhau thực hiện điền nhé. Ở đầu tiên chúng ta là có gì nhỉ? 1 và 2 này. 1 ô trống 2 6 ô trống 5 2 ô trống 3 8 ô trống 7 4 và 4 10 và 5. Các bạn sẽ phải viết ra vở để chúng ta điền nhá. Chúng mình sẽ không điền trực tiếp vào sách, sẽ làm bẩn sách nhá. Rồi, 1 và 2, các bạn so sánh nào. 1 sẽ làm sao nhỉ? Nhỏ hơn 2 đúng không nào? Chúng ta sẽ điền dấu nhỏ hơn. Dấu nhỏ hơn, mũi tên sẽ quay về phía bên tay trái của các bạn nhé. 2 nhỏ hơn 3. Dấu nhỏ hơn. 6 lớn hơn 5. Dấu gì nhỉ? Dấu lớn sẽ có phần mũi tên quay về phía bên tay phải tay của các bạn. 8 sẽ nhỏ hơn. 8 sẽ nhỏ hơn 10 và lớn hơn 7 này. 4 sẽ bằng 4 và 10 sẽ nhỏ hơn 5. Oh sorry, 10 sẽ lớn hơn 5 nha. Rồi, mình đã hoàn thiện xong phần bài tập 1 rồi. Các bạn có thực hiện được giống mình không? Comment ở phía dưới cho mình biết nha. Tiếp tục sang bài số 2, chúng ta cùng so sánh theo mẫu. Ở đây mẫu của chúng ta là ý A. Ở phía bên tay trái là có 2 con mèo, phía bên tay phải là có 3 con cá đúng không nào? 2 con mèo sẽ nhỏ hơn 3 con cá, vì vậy 2 sẽ nhỏ hơn 3. Tiếp tục, nhiệm vụ của các bạn sẽ làm ý B, C và D nhé. Ở ý B chúng ta có hình vẽ những chú mèo và những chú cá. Bây giờ các bạn sẽ phải đếm số lượng của những chú mèo và những chú cá, xem số lượng là bao nhiêu để chúng ta cùng nhau so sánh nha. Có 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chú mèo. 7 chú mèo. Và ở đây có 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tất cả là có 6 chú cá. 7 chú mèo và 6 chú cá. 7 lớn hơn 6. Tương tự ý C và ý D, các bạn sẽ thực hiện làm bài tập giao vở với mình nhé. Thời lượng của kênh đã hết rồi. Cảm ơn tất cả các bạn đã theo dõi kênh của mình này. Đừng quên like và subscribe để ủng hộ kênh cũng như không bỏ lỡ bất cứ một video nào nha. Hẹn gặp lại các bạn trong video ngày mai. Tạm biệt.